Happy New Year all, my first camp of 2025, and I want to say a big thank you for all the fabulous comments on my last video of 2024. So 1 year ago I did my first camp of 2024, and it was also my first video for the channel. So I've decided to revisit here today. I'm at Cerrig-gleisiad in the Bannau, Brycheiniog, Brecon National Park. It's a beautiful day, the sun's out and it's cold, and as you can see it's very frosty. I'm expecting temperatures to go down to -5 tonight. So this is a beautiful area. It's actually a nature reserve, and all these steep crags up here, they were formed during the last ice age 18,000 years ago. It was a catastrophic landslide that brought millions of tons of rock from these crags crashing down these slopes. Archaeological remains found in the area show that this has been inhabited for many thousands of years. Iron Age huts have been discovered here, and also the remains of a Roman road. The reserve is over 1,200 acres in size, and over 500 different plants and 80 different species of birds have been discovered here. Peregrine falcons, kestrels, red grouse, to name just a few. It's great to have this weather after all the rain we've been having. Look at those views. Absolutely stunning. The climb's done. I'm on top. I'm torn as where to camp. So when I camped here last, a year ago, I camped right on top over there. It's a cracking spot to camp. It's a nice flat pitch, and you've got views looking towards Cary and Bannau, and views down the valley towards Brecon. It's quite busy today. There's a few people up there walking, and so now we're an hour till it gets dark. There's another spot I know for. I've camped there a few times before, and it's tucked away behind those rocks, and people can't see you from a footpath. So I never look around now and make a decision, see where we're going to set the tent up. To get the cold weather gear on, it's cold out there, and to show you my spot quick, it's so cold the GoPro I haven't been able to do much filming. It's so cold the GoPro kept switching off, so I had to put the batteries in my spare hat with some hand warmers. I've warmed them up, and that seems to be working for now. So I've stopped at a spot that's sheltered and it's hidden away from the path. It's a great little spot. We've got views looking out towards Brecon, and it's starting to go dark out there, and it's absolutely freezing. I've just put all my cold weather gear on the walk up here. I only had a few thin layers on so I wouldn't sweat, otherwise I'd have stopped and I would have been freezing. So we can get some food on the go now, get in a tent, and we're going to warm up. What a stunning evening. I've forgotten what it's like to have clear skies. Hopefully we'll get a nice starry night tonight. There's a helicopter hovering above Brecon. Wondering if anyone needs rescuing. There's hundreds of people up there today. Looked like absolute chaos when I drove past. Get Torbs fed. You got a nice big bag of meat and some turkey in there. I got a homemade curry with me tonight. That's peanut butter and coconut curry. It's a good one of my favourites. Bag of rice to go with it. It's not very often on this channel I talk about the gear I'm using. I just tend to get on with the camping, but I often get questions asking about my cooking system, so I'll just show you quickly what I've got. I've got a new stove. I bought a few weeks ago to replace my MSR Pocket Rocket 2. And it's a great little stove, a Soto Windmaster. So it's got a little ignition switch on there, and the ignition little spark is built in there. It's tucked away so it won't get broken. And these little, I forget what they called them, so cold I can't think. These little arms open out. That's great, that is, for balancing your pots on. And there's a little concave system built in, so I don't know if you can see it on there. So that acts like a little windshield, and the pot sits really close, so it stops a lot of wind getting in there. I was cooking out in the wind the other day, bad wind with this, with no windshield, and it was doing a good job. The Soto Windmaster. I've got all my cooking pots and my windshield all in here together. So my windshield, it's the Optimus windshield, and that fits neatly around my Boundless Voyage cooking pot. I think this is 800 or 900 mil. I've got links in the video description for all of this if you want to have a little nosy and take a look. And inside my Boundless Voyage then, I keep my Torx pot. I use this for making a brew in the morning for water. I use that one, the bigger one, for cooking my food in. Just got my little stand there for my gas stove. That fits in there. In there, I keep my gas canister. I have a little bit of cloth in the bottom to stop metal to metal. And I've got a few little bits and bobs inside this mesh bag. This may seem like a bit of overkill for some people, but I actually take a spare stove with me. It's one of those little, I think they're BSR stoves. You buy them on Amazon for around a tenner. They don't weigh much at all, they weigh next to nothing. But it's always handy. I've had a stove die on me before camping, and if you've got no stove, you've got no brew, no hot food. It's a bit of a nightmare. And in this bag as well, I've got some waterproof matches. In there is some cooking oil. My hands are so cold I can't get it out. I've got a little bit of Scotch-Brite there, sponge for cleaning my pots and pans. Salt and pepper. What else we got in here? I always keep a bit of foil. Can you maybe use it like a little plate to put my food on? A spare lighter as well, a tiny lighter. Army issue style tin opener, and in there, tiny little bottle of fairy liquid to clean my pots and pans. In here I've got my titanium spoon and my spork. I know that was all a bit rushed, but I'm too cold to go into detail about everything. But I'll do a little review on this stove when I get a chance. This windshield, you just pop it around the neck of the canister. But the only problem with this now is, now I've got a new stove, those legs don't open all the way out, whereas my Pocket Rocket was a good fit in there. It's not a problem, I just fold those two legs in. We'll just leave that water to warm up. I'm looking up towards Penavon, and that helicopter had a red flashing light on there. It looks like it may have landed, I can't hear it, and it looks like it's stationary, just sitting up on top. It may be on a ridge of Cumloch. It's difficult to tell now, it's gone dark. There's a good chance there's something going on up there. That didn't take long to boil up at all. All I do now, drop my curry in there, my bag of rice, and heat that gently for 10 minutes. I'm looking forward to this. I'm quite hungry, but also it's going to be good to get a nice hot curry inside me. Watch I don't spill this, that would be a disaster. I've warmed up pretty good. I've got some hand warmers stuffed on my socks. I've got a body warmer stuck to the inside of my top. If you're wondering where Toby is, he's couched in behind me. He's got all his winter gear on. and he's laying on top of his sleeping bag, nice and snug. That's such a good curry. Peanut butter and coconut cream. It's a good combo. It's not too spicy, just some great flavours going on. I tell you what I'm going to do while I remember. There's a good chance this water will freeze up tonight. So I'm going to fill my pot, pour this water into here, and if it does freeze up, I can heat it on the stove then. If these freeze up, you're not going to be getting any water for coffee in the morning, and I like my coffee. It's an incredible night out here tonight. I can't capture it. I don't bring a flash camera with me. I just got the GoPro. I'm looking up there, and we've got a quarter crescent moon, and shining brightly above it is Venus. And looking up at the sky, it's a perfectly clear night, and the sky is full of stars. And I'm looking towards Brecon. I doubt very much you'll see this on the GoPro, but the whole of Brecon town is lit up and it's glistening away like stars in the sky. You can see the tent starting to ice up. I've got this cracking bottle of beer with me tonight from Glacis Brewery, Stormy Skies. It's actually a bottle of porter, which I've never heard of. I've only been getting into my beers and ales the past couple of years, so I'm still learning. So I read up on it, and porter is a style of beer that originated in London in the early 18th century, and it's a well-hopped, dark-coloured beer due to the use of brown malt. And it's called porter because apparently back in the day it was a popular drink with porters. When I went under the brewery to pick this up, Ray, the owner, was there, and Johnny, and they were explaining the process to me of how it was made, and I found it really quite interesting. So you've seen me with Penderyn whiskey on the channel before. Penderyn whiskey is a Welsh whiskey, and the most popular whiskey is Penderyn Madeira, and that's aged in Madeira casks. And Ray was telling me he has his barrels from the whiskey distillery, and the barrels he had for this were Penderyn Madeira whiskey casks. So he put his brew into those barrels and he left them for 12 months. And he was telling me there was still some Penderyn Madeira whiskey in the bottom of the barrels. And I've actually tried these, and you can taste the Madeira whiskey in there. And it's also got a good chocolatey taste going on in it. There's other flavours in it as well. I think it's maybe orange and raisin. It's a real good bottle of beer. I had bought just the one bottle for the camp, but as soon as he told me how it was made, I like my whiskey, I thought I've got to give one a try, and it really is a cracking beer. So we'll crack this open now and we'll have a swig. These came out just in time for Christmas. As you can see, they're wrapped up in our paper. I bought a few of them as presents, make great little gifts. I forgot to mention as well, it's 9% and it's a 500ml bottle. That's why I've only brought the one. So let's have a look at the flavours of what's going on there. Firstly, I've got the aromas of dark fruits and caramel, which set the stage for the palate to enjoy the flavours of raisin, sultana and chocolate. I think I may have mentioned orange earlier, but it's sultana and chocolate. And when I tasted it, I could taste the chocolate strong in there, and I could pick up on the Madeira. I couldn't pick anything else up, but my taste buds are not that good. That's so good. The first thing I can taste is the chocolate, strong taste of chocolate in there. That's such a nice drink. When I got here tonight and I arrived at the car park, I bumped into Simon and Mark from Twin Peaks Outdoors. It's probably one of the first wild camping channels I started watching, so it was great to bump into them and meet them, and we had a good chat. And when I was pitching up, I think I saw them heading in that direction towards Llanfrynach, so they may be staying there for the night. And they got a great channel. It's a no-nonsense channel. It's just two brothers who love the outdoors and love wild camping, and they're sound blokes as well. So I'll put a little thingy-majig up at the bottom of the screen, and I'll put a link to their channel in the video description in case you want to take a nosy. Nice to meet you boys. I can see some torches over there in the distance. I'm pretty sure it's the Twin Peaks, boys. So we'll take a walk up now and have a look. I thought I saw you pitching up here earlier.
I'm not the best, mate.
Well, where you've pitched?
Oh, yeah, shit, like.
No way.
Yeah.
Why is it shit? It's been marshy, is it?
That's alright. My pitch is like that.
Or never?
Yeah.
That was nice. I went over and had a good old chinwag with Mark and Simon from Twin Peaks Outdoors. It was nice to finally meet them after watching their channel for so many years. Real nice pair of blokes. I'm gonna head back to the tent now and get in there and warm up. It's a pretty cold one tonight. I'm just looking up a pen of van. It's surprising how busy it is up there tonight. I've seen a lot of torches going up and down the motorway path. It's not so cold now. I'm back at the tent. I think I'm protected from the wind chill here. So I'm going to sit outside for 10 minutes. I'm going to soak up this night sky and do a bit of stargazing. You would not believe how many people have been heading up to Pen y Fan in the dark to watch sunrise this morning. I've been awake since 4 o'clock this morning. I didn't sleep very well, and there's been torches heading up there all night. At one point I looked up and it's just a continuous line of torches going up the motorway path. I'm glad I'm not up there. It's nice and peaceful here, out of the way. So it's quite a cold one last night. I don't know if it was as cold as the forecast was saying. It was going to be -5, but it was cold enough. The tent is iced over. But it's been nice. It's been a nice crisp night. I've enjoyed it. Right, let's get the stove going and make a nice cup of coffee. I just slipped, went flying, and a whole pot of water went over me from head to toe. I'm soaking. Morning coffee on top of a frost-covered mountain with views of Pen y Fan and the sun coming up in the distance. It doesn't get much better than this. I could hear red grouse earlier. I've heard them up here before and I've never spotted them, and 2 of them just flew by. They're the fastest flying game birds in the UK, fly at speeds up to 70 miles an hour. Here we go, boy. Nice and snug. Simon and Mark are still there. I can see them over there in the distance. Looks like one of them's starting to pack up. They may be heading off now. More winters I guess we need. I miss a good old British winters. All we seem to get these days is never ending rain, but it's made for a good night. It's been a good camp. I'm going to start packing up now. I'm going to head home. When I get to the house, I'm going to bang the heater on. I'm going to lay on the sofa all day watching Netflix. It sounds like a plan. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, do us a favour, give it a thumbs up, and if you could, please leave a comment. See you out in the next camp soon.